My people, we don't come again. Oh, we for Edo Freedom Mass, we don't come again. We don't give now another latest news. Well, lots of things have been happening, lots of things have been going on as President Buhari is about to approve the next stage of COVID-19 restrictions. Well, let's see what he got in there. But my people for house now do, my fellow Nigerians now do it. We come today, one could give now bunga shell. Now no winner. Edo Freedom House will not the carry last. Now no matter where they stop around us now will bring coin on our doorstep. Latest news, latest update, things where they happen around us now will the carry come. I beg you were the here for the first time. I will you do it. We want to use God. We use God to bless you. We say Baba God will bless you plenty. And you will never come before. We say Baba God will bless you. And this is the first time when they come, we say you do it. I beg, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to view. Don't forget to comment. Well, back to the news for today. President Muhammadu Buhari is about to approve the next stage of COVID-19 restrictions. The meeting between the Nigerian leader and Presidential Task Force of Coronavirus is scheduled for Monday, June 29. Nigerians will be expecting the federal government to remove restrictions on the interstate travel when the President Muhammadu Buhari approved the next stage of national response to the COVID-19 pandemic after a meeting with the Presidential Task Force (PTF) on coronavirus. The meeting between the Nigerian leader and the Presidential Task Force (PTF) on coronavirus is scheduled for Monday, June 29, the nation's report. The task force is expected to present its assessment of the levels of compliance by Nigerians to the COVID-19 regulations and guidelines, and also give recommendations on the next stage of the country's national response to the pandemic. The chairman of the PTF, Boss Mustafa, had on Thursday, June 25th, said Nigerians will be updated about the next step in the fight against the virus after the scheduled meeting with the president. He pointed out that the second phase of the eased lockdown, which took off from June 1st, will be ending soon, making a need for the third stage. Nigerians have been clamoring for reopening of activities and total renewal of restrictions and lockdown, especially with respect to schools and interstate travel. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) has announced 490 new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria as the country inches close to 225,000 cases. The new cases were announced on Sunday night, June 28, via the Health Agency official Twitter handle. With the new cases around, Nigeria now has confirmed 24,567 confirmed COVID-19 active cases, 9,007 recoveries, and 565 deaths. The data also shows that 382 people have been recovered in the last 24 hours, while 7 people have died during the same period. A breakdown of the new cases indicates that Lagos leads with 180 cases, while Delta and Ebonyi State leads with 88 and 64 cases respectively. Well, I can see it hasn't been easy, but with God's grace. Well, on the issue today, President Buhari had a meeting with the Presidential Task Force (PTF) concerning the next phase, concerning the COVID-19 restrictions, and this one they're talking about openings of schools and interstate travel. Breaking news: President Buhari received briefing from COVID-19 PTF. Nigerians eagerly to hear President Muhammadu's decision on the next stage of the national response to the coronavirus pandemic after receiving a briefing from the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. The task force, led by Boss Mustafa, the chairman and secretary to the government of the Federation, SGF, on Monday, June 29, briefed the Nigerian leader at the State House as the second phase of the eased lockdown ends today. This was revealed by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, in a post he shared on Facebook. Meanwhile, members of the task force in attendance includes Minister of Health, Dr. Sergey Hianire, the National Center for Disease Control Director General, Dr. Chiwike Ihewize, and the coordinator, Dr. Sani Aliyu. Earlier reported that amid a spike in COVID-19 cases across the country, the federal government has hinted at another lockdown, saying it is inevitable as states continue to witness a surge in the number of the daily infections. God help us. Speaking during the briefing on Thursday, June 25th, The chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 said the lockdown idea may not be popular, but the surge in coronavirus cases has made it a necessity. Mustafa said Nigerians are romancing with the pandemic too much since the relaxation of lockdown allowing business to come back to life. According to him, efforts of the government towards the pandemic are being sabotaged by Nigerians. This has led to massive community transmission. In other news, Nigerians are cautioned against mistaking face shield for face masks, saying the former cannot guarantee protection against COVID-19 disease. That is, face shield cannot guarantee protection against COVID-19 pandemic. The National Disease Control Agency issued a warning this weekend amid the spike in case of coronavirus over the last 3 weeks. NCDC said there is no confirmation on the effectiveness of face shield in preventing COVID-19 when used alone in non-health care sectors. We can see from this that a lot has actually really be happening, as the NCDC are trying to tell us that some people are trying to prefer face shield than face mask, and they are trying to let us know that face shield will not save us from this raging disease, that's taking over our country, that it's not going to help us, that we should please, we should not mistake face masks for fake shield. That we should not mistake face masks for fake shield, because face masks is actually what they said we should use and not fake shield. The NCDC said that face masks cannot give us a determined assurance that it will save us from the disease, but face shield, which they all want to use, is very wrong. Well, the National Disease Center for Disease Control has cautioned against mistaking face shields for face masks, saying it cannot guarantee protection against the COVID-19 pandemic. NCDC said there is no confirmation on the effectiveness of fake shield in preventing COVID-19 when used alone in healthcare settings. Daily Trust reports. NCDC, in quote, there is evidence that the correct use of face masks reduces the risk of COVID-19 infection. Given the limited evidence on the effectiveness of face shield in protecting people from COVID-19 infections in community settings and the absence of recommendations on their use by WHO and other public authorities, face shield alone should not be used in preventing the spread of COVID-19 infections. Nigeria presently has 24,567 confirmed active COVID-19 cases, 9,007 recoveries, 565 deaths as virus continues to take a swipe at the country. Meanwhile, it was reported that as part of the